let's fix this a little bit. All right, perfect. All right, so what's up, guys? Swanky Games here, and today I'm going to be learning some Lee, who won the poll. So sorry I'm a day late. Had a few things going on. Sorry, I got to pull my pants up. I had a few things going on, so it made streaming yesterday a little difficult. That's why I'm streaming today to make up for it. So, like I said, Lee won the poll. So I'm going to be doing a series. I mentioned this in a few videos, but I never assume anybody's watched any one video. So the way this will work is I'm going to put a character up on a poll, and you guys are going to vote for which character you guys want me to learn next. And I'm going to take that character for the next 2 weeks, in this case Lee, and I'm going to try to learn them and explore with them so I can improve and see how far into the ranks that I can get. Today, I might do a little bit of online matches. I'm going to learn a few things, get a little bit of practice in, show you guys how I learn a character. And then once I learn that character, I'll at least learn some basic stuff with that character. Then I'll take them into ranked or online. What's up, Ye8? I'll take them on into ranked so that or online matches to see where my level is. And basically at the end of the 2 weeks, I want to see how far I can get with that character. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, I'll do an assessment, like how far I got with the character, what I think I can improve on, so on and so on. So that's a big thing. Another thing is I got my Discord up. Some of you guys have already joined. Thank you guys for that. Others, I just want to make sure you guys know what's up. So if you guys want to be more involved with the Lee is finalized. Yes. Let me see here. So according to the community, out of 26 votes, Lee won 58%. So Lee is the next character for sure. So like I was saying, a big part of the Discord is if you guys just want to be more involved with the channel. I am active on that, and I'm the only person that's doing this. So if you guys see somebody from my team, if you want to call it, on Discord, it's probably most definitely only me. I'm not planning on making a team. This is just something I do for fun on the side, which leads me to another big point as well. You want to play? Yeah. So that's the idea between doing this, is that I don't know most of the characters. I knew him in Tekken 7, but I don't assume I know him in Tekken 8. So I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about them. So the idea is I can learn them, and then probably what I'll do at the end of the 2 weeks is I'll find some clips, most notably like promotions and demotion matches. So you guys can see that. You guys can see maybe about 5 to 10 minutes of me learning a character, and then a few minutes of matches, and then at the end my assessment. It'd be like hopefully only like half an hour long of like a collage of clips, so that you guys can see where what I took from it, and maybe it'll help you guys out as well. Oh, and I'm very excited about this. So this just came in the mail the other day. I'm going to be learning how to use it, but I got this in the mail today, or not today, yesterday. So I'll be learning to use this. I'm very excited. The only downside to this is it doesn't have a mic port, so I'll only be probably using it during like rank sessions and stuff when I'm not really talking. But it's there. I love it. I'm so excited. A hitbox, yeah. Yeah, I'm super, super excited. The only thing about it, the biggest trick to me, because I've used arcade sticks before, but this button right here, that's the up button. So that being the up button is what keeps throwing me off. Because it's designed so basically I would take my hand and put it like that, and I would never have to move my hand. And I'm still getting used to it. I could show you guys some combos and stuff later on a different video, maybe that I've already got. I can as long as I can remember the up and down, my execution is already better on that thing than it is on this. So I'm very, very excited about that. Sorry, let me grab a drink here real quick. Which reminds me, I do apologize. For the most part, it's passed, but I still have a cough. I still have a sore throat. That's why you guys might see me have to stop a few times to get like a drink or something. But for the most part, it's passed. That cough you guys just heard, yeah, that might be a problem going forward. But it's not nearly as bad as it used to be, so I don't feel too bad. And the last bit of news, so I can get past this huge disclaimer, this huge intro. I do plan, so I have a spare room upstairs that nobody uses. So what I'm probably going to be doing is I'm probably going to be cleaning some stuff up there and moving things around so that I can take this setup and move it upstairs. So that, because we have a lot of kids, we have a lot of adults that are moving around, making noise. They can't really help it. I'm not going to tell them to be quiet so I can stream in the living room. So instead of having to find time when I'm more or less by myself to stream, I'll be able to basically just run upstairs, go into this room that's completely sealed off from the world, and do more streams. So I can be a lot more involved with you guys. Because this is what I want to do. This is one of those things I love doing on my off time. If I'm not spending time with my family, if I'm not working, then this is something I really, really want to start getting into. So it'll allow me to start doing a little bit more. So when that happens, you guys will be the first to know. And with that out of the way, so yeah, I mentioned the Discord. Like I said, that link will be in the description. So obviously not right now while I'm streaming, but after the stream, once it uploads fully, I'll go into the description. I'll make sure to type out the Discord stuff so that if you guys want to be a part of it, be more involved, enjoy it. Because we already have, there's already like 4 or 5 people, and that just happened in the first day. And I think it's a really, really good way for like new players to get together and duke it out and learn some stuff, while also making like scheduling coaching easier, and setting up for sets and whatnot. I think that'd be really, really cool. And most likely, what I'll probably do in the sets is I'll probably stick to the character I'm supposed to learn. But if you specifically want me to play Hwoarang against you, then let me know. I'll be more than happy to show you why you made the wrong choice. But anywho, I do smoke. If that's a problem, just let me know. But like I said, this is a very chill and relaxed channel. So I do smoke every now and again. For the most part, I've been vaping. So I'm not doing that. Is Hwoarang hard to learn? He can be. He's one of those characters where for the most part, if you just learn a couple of things, he's very easy. He can get you through the low ranks very, very easily. But he's one of those characters that has a lot of traps that are easy for a new player to fall into. So if you aren't aware of those traps and you don't pay attention to it, you might get further doing what you're doing than you should. But then once you get to a certain point, all that you can really do is either improve on your play style or maybe take a step back and start learning the stuff that you didn't learn because you fell into Hwoarang traps. It's a very hard explanation to get into in just a few minutes, but yeah, that's the tricky thing. But so it's one of those things. He's easy to learn, hard to master kind of things. And a lot of characters fall into that category, but because he's stance heavy and he's not like Victor or Leroy, who only have like 1 or 2 stances that you don't need to use. But at the same time, if you like when a Victor or a Leroy player does start to learn fundamentals stuff instead of relying on their cheap stuff, it's probably a little easier because they have less tools. Where Hwoarang, who's also very heavy, stance heavy and has a lot more moves, it can be tricky. So let's just go ahead and... Okay, so I am supposed to be doing Lee, but I can show you this real quick. You're telling me, you're preaching to the choir, man. Every Hwoarang player, including the other guy that's talking, have fallen into this trap. Let me see if I can find... Okay. I'm like I said, I do got to try to stick with Lee, but I can show you this real quick. Okay, so... Okay.
Get ready for the next battle.
So when it comes to Hwoarang, you're probably talking about like you'll do something like this. Or something of that nature. And they keep doing stuff like that. So what you got to do to help mitigate that, Hwoarang has a lot of very strong mids. So what you got to do, when you do something like this, instead of just trying to go for more stuff, try to add in a mid here and there. So like down forward 4 or 1. And try to keep the strings very small so it keeps your opponent guessing. So instead of doing stuff like this, where you're doing a bunch of strings, try to do like 3 to 5 hit strings, like something like this. Just a very quick and easy thing. You're still at +1. If they do try to crouch jab you, you just do a quick backdash. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Something like that. And so this will happen a lot as you progress. Or if they just duck, somebody might try to rush in and you might hit them with the back 3. You shouldn't do it quite like that, but it becomes an option because you become more self-aware. So that's something to keep in mind as well. No problem, man. I have no problems giving you guys some tips and stuff like that. It's what this channel's for. Anywho, so getting back into Lee here, make sure this matching setting's off. So when I'm learning a character, so we are going to get into the meat and greedy of everything. Let me see here. So I have a handful of steps that I usually do when I'm learning a character. The first thing is you got to go through the move list. Once you go through the move list, you would then do your combo challenges or sample combos. Either one is fine. And you try to come up with your own stuff. So the step 1 is highs, mids, and lows. Hey man, thanks you for stopping by, Yi. I appreciate you stopping by, even if it was just to say hi. Anyway, so getting into it, so I always learn the same steps for every character. So if you learn these steps, then you should be able to learn at least the basic fundamental stuff with every character. So with Lee, the first thing is the first step is highs, mids, lows. You want one good high poke, one good mid poke, and one good low poke. With Lee, obviously his one jab is super good, and then you got forward 4 by itself is really good because you have the extensions. You can either You can mix it up. You can just stop. You can do whatever you want. Back 4 is another good one, I think. It's a little slow. It's 19 to 21 frames. But on block, it's +2. And nobody knows that, so they might not respect your frames. Plus, if you do it well, if you do it fast enough, oh my bad. This can be a launcher. Your Hwoarang videos helped me a lot. The Pressure 1 and Fundamentals 1 too. I'm still exploring him, but I hope I get to learn him better. Please do. Oh yeah, absolutely. So when I'm learning these characters, Hwoarang isn't going to be put on pause. I'm still going to do Hwoarang stuff. He's my dude. Don't worry about that. But this is going to be a whole thing on its own. So, where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, Back 4 becomes its own launcher. Holy crap. Come on. Something like that. I'm still figuring stuff like that out. But I did this stuff prematurely, so I didn't have to have you guys sit here in a live stream and watch me go through the move list. Hitman 3 is a good one. I love this move. It's ridiculous. And it's a grab as well. An attack grab. I think this is guaranteed. I'm not sure. Or at least it's hard to get out of. Or maybe it's a 50-50. I'm not really sure. But then up forward 3-4. Oh, my fault, yeah. Oh, this is a mid now. Okay, so this is a mid. My fault. But so this will go in the mid area. But we'll get into that in a moment. And then 4-2-1. Wow, did I really put a bunch of mids and highs? Still, either way, though. Back 4 is a big one. Hitman 3 is a big one. And forward 4 is a big one. Throw. So this, you can't really escape this grab, unfortunately, because it's an attack grab. The best way to break this is to block it. Hold on. Like that. So this is one of those special situations where if you do get hit by it, you can't break it. So then you got, so for mids you got his down forward 1, which is still very good. It's only -1 on block, so very, very good. Down forward 4, which goes into Hitman if you hit 3. Back 4 is very, very good, and it's a counter hit move. Oh, my bad. Come on. Holy crap. There we go. Down 4-2 is a big one, obviously. Like that. Hitman up 4-3 and up forward 4. Good mids. Yeah, I figured that one was gonna be tricky. So very, very safe. And I don't know what it is I like about that move, but I do. I guess it doesn't have any counter hit properties anymore, I don't think. Oh, it's plus 13. Does that mean I can do... Okay, so... I wonder. Something like that. But up 4-3 is the big one because it's the heat engager. Wall splats, wall breaks. And forward 4-3. This is a big one. So. I love this. As far as lows, you got down back 3, down 3, and then slide 3+4, or full crouch 3+, full crouch down forward 3. Very good. Then step 2 is your crouch stuff. His weakness, he doesn't have very much panic tools. His damage isn't very high. And if you just wait, if you wait out his shenanigans, he doesn't really have much in terms of flow charts. So, and his big thing is he has a lot of get-in tools, or keep-out tools, I should say. But he doesn't. But aside from running 3-4 and forward, forward 2-1. He doesn't really have a lot as far as panic. No, he can't keep pressure. Basically, here is where you want to be. Here is not where you want to be. But then crouched, you have 3, which is a 10 frame. It's all guaranteed, but you lose your turn. But it's nice because you have a 10 frame punish, and you can continue pressure here if you want to. Then you have 4, which if you hit 3, you'll go into Hitman, so you can keep adding pressure. 1-2 forward. Like that. 1-4, and if you hit 3, you go into Hitman stance. 2-3 or 2-4 is very good. Like so. Up forward 4. And then down forward 3. Or down forward 4, my fault. Change that. And then here, and then step 3 is going to be your running or get-in tools. He has this misstep, which is really, really good. So a good, oddly enough, a good get-in tool is this this slide, but it's already 25 frame startup, and especially when you're doing it back here, it's very telegraphed. So you want to be very, very careful throwing it. But if it gets blocked from back here, let's do this. It's only minus 11. You know, so like if you do it for max range, I believe it becomes safe. I'm not really sure where that is exactly, but seems like minus 11. Minus 11 is really, really good though. Yes, it can be low parried. And then I said running 3-4 is a good one. If you hit 3 afterwards, you can go into Hitman. So even if it gets blocked, you can continue your pressure. And then Hitman up 4-3 and up forward 4. Keep in mind, I'm pretty sure both of these are steppable, but that's the big issue with his get and stuff is that they're all steppable or telegraphed. But then you have moves like this. Stuff like that. And then here you have sidestep move. I don't know if he has any sidestep moves. Yeah, he doesn't have any sidestep stuff that I can tell. You guys, this is where I would go back into the move list and see if he has stuff. Usually I'll say something either towards the bottom here, and it doesn't. Or it'll say something later, and it doesn't. So he probably doesn't have any sidestep moves, which that's kind of bad and good at the same time, because that means if you do a sidestep and you want to do like a move, you don't have to worry about being locked behind a sidestep thing. So, but at the same time, he doesn't have anything. He used to have a sidestep 3+4, which was like this really long like roundhouse that like really did a lot, but it was a high, so not a lot of people used it. Step 5 would be like stances and moves that go into stance. I'm not going to go into all the details, but basically to go into his Hitman stance is just 3+4. And then like I said, a lot of his moves go into Hitman. So that's a big one. His Power Crush. So he has back 3+4, which is good. And then this is another Power Crush and a homing move on its own. Back 4 is a homing move. I think those are the big ones. Back 4 is a big one. Hitman 3 is a good one. And what was the other one? Oh, Power Crush and homing move. So Power Crush, homing move. What was the other one? I missed it. I forgot already. Unless that was the only one. Oh, that was it. This is the Power Crush. Back 3+4. And then movement and defense. Lee doesn't really have... So this is one of those things where like I would check to see if he has a wave dash. He does not. If you try to do a wave dash, it's going to go into his misstep before anything. But you can still do like a sloppy backdash. So if you're not able to do the Korean backdash yet, you could just do the basically a backwards wave dash, so you can really get out of dodge a little faster. Like this is regular backdash, and this is the wave dash backwards. So just a little faster. It helps you get out of dodge a little faster. So that's a big thing. So basically, the only thing I got to worry about is getting in. That's how I would do that. Step 4 is this heat stuff. Heat and rage specifically. I put those two together because rage is always one button for every character. So, I don't know what all his heat stuff is, but I know this is a heat engager. This is a heat engager. This is a heat engager. And that's a heat engager. So, those are those are those moves. I don't know what they all are. So, it would be a good opportunity to come in and check. Down, forward, 4. Okay. So, I think that's it. Okay. Forward, 4, 3. Yep. So that's pretty much it. The only one I didn't find on my own was this one. And it's safe, so that's good. And it has that pushback. That's a big deal. That pushback is a big deal. So, and this being 13 frames, that means that's guaranteed. 50 damage and going into heat, can't complain. And then what I would do is go in and see if there's anything about his heat that I need to know. Like, is there anything that I can do that would give him back heat, or anything that's stronger for heat? So a big thing about Lee is that in heat, a lot of his frames become perfect. You don't have to be frame perfect with any of his stuff. So I will, man. Thank you for stopping by. So you don't have to ever. So that's the big thing about his heat, is that all of his just frame moves, you don't have to do his just frame stuff. You could just, it'll take away heat, but for a few seconds you can do all of his just frame moves without worrying about it. So that's very, very cool in my opinion. And then step 9 is punishment. I'm not going to go through punishment because it's a lot, but I already went through it. So a big one is going to be his, like, this 1, 2, 4. So when you do punishment training, make sure you set the second action to block. So if something's not, let me see. Like right here, if something gets blocked, that means it's not a natural combo. So this I wouldn't use as an 11 frame punish, because even though the first hit does land, the second hit doesn't, and then I lose my turn again. And it's supposed to be an opportunity for you to get your turn. But then a move like this, that gives me +3, puts me in Hitman, puts me in about the distance I want to be in. So that's very, very good for a 10 frame. And then usually I would go for like a 14 frame. Or a 13 or 14 frame. That's a pretty good 13 frame. And then a 15 frame, you know, the fastest launcher, which for him is down forward 2 and up forward 4. And those are the big ones. While crouched, 11 frame. He actually has a really good 14 frame. And this is 19 frames, which is unfortunate, because that means that your best option is this until you get like a stagger low. But it's 14 frames, and it does, without rage, it does 50 damage, which is really, really nice. Let me turn the rage off. 54. So it's very, very nice. It's decent. 54 is still nice. And if you're in heat, this turns into a 14 frame launcher. Gets you pretty good damage. So can't complain. So that brings us to step 10, our last main step, which is combos. So what I would do, just find the easiest combo I can. So that might be a little tricky. Gets me 55. It's pretty decent. If I don't upgrade that, then I think I'm okay. So stuff like that becomes trickier, unfortunately. So then you just gotta kind of experiment. That got me 56. That's only 1 point, and people are like, "Oh, it's just 1 point. It don't make a difference." But you throw this combo out 3 times, you know, and you did, you know, a handful of pokes here or there. Those 3 extra points that you missed out on can make a difference. You know, when you do lose out on, say, the timer, or you know, you get that last hit in, and it just wasn't enough before they killed you. Those few points do end up making a difference. It's not usually a big deal, but there will be incidences where those 3 points make a big difference. So, you know, I always do that. So, and then step 11 is basically kind of goes hand in hand with step 10, which is counter hit launchers. So you would look for your counter hit launchers. Oh, my bad. Seriously? Stuff like that, just to kind of figure out what works. Step 12 is your panic tools. So down 3 would be a good panic tool because it's a high crush. Up forward 4 would be a good low panic tool, although it's punishable and a mid. So, but it's a good panic tool, especially if you think your opponent's going to do a low. This is pretty decent as well. It actually has a lot more evasive, both low and high crush than you would think. So it's a pretty decent panic tool. But it is also minus 13, so it's something to be careful of. And he actually has I think this is just a punch parry, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so just a punch parry. And I would, if you don't know what it looks like, I would always check it out. Oh. So always check it out so you know what you're doing. So stuff like that is really, really nice. And then the last 2 steps, step 13 is upgrading your combos, and step 14 is adding heat and rage into your combos. Basically all that means is, so when you upgrade a combo, typically when you do your first combo, it's probably going to be around 40s or 50s. I always tell people, like, the best medium would be a 60 damage combo. So this right here, for example, it's a few points short, just barely. So what would I do to make that at least 60? Well, oh, my bad. So that's 58. Okay. My bad. And it's not so much that you need to be able to do this all the time. Just enough, just at least once every blue moon. That's basically something in your back pocket. Once you get warmed up, maybe you can do it often. And then keep in mind, this is his weakest launcher. So this only does 12 damage. So like an up forward 4 that does 14 damage, or a down 3 on counter hit that does closer to 20. It might get you those few extra points that you need to get. And it really makes a big difference. And then, you know, I usually like to find my biggest launcher and see what I can do with it. Come on. Come on. So that missed, so I would probably just take away a down forward. That gets me about 64. So then I would just upgrade from there. So then maybe I'd add heat to it. So. Oh, my bad. because that stuff like that can get you that few extra points. Like heat itself doesn't necessarily make anything more damaging, but can add. You can typically add more hits in or get them closer to the wall for more combo route, and then you would get them into heat, into rage. Oh, my bad. My bad, guys. That was his launcher, and that was his bound attack or tornado in Tekken 7, so that's why I keep doing it. So I just do stuff like that. Now keep in mind that when you activate heat and you do a rage combo in the same combo, the rage is automatically going to do less damage. So you should only do that if one, you know it's going to kill, or two, if you think you can try to get them to the wall or something to beef up your damage. Aside from that, I wouldn't do them both in the same combo. Same with like activating heat and then using it. It does a lot less damage. So like if I activate heat on its own, I got about 50 damage. Same with didn't make it into the 50s that time, but it was still quite a bit more than 40. And that's the big thing. So I would not suggest doing it unless you know you're going to beat your opponent. And like with a character like Lee, who doesn't really get a big damage output out of his combos, doing something like that would hurt me more. Like with Horong, if I do it, I could still probably break into the 80s, 90s, even 100s. With Lee, if I'm only making it into about the 50s or 60s, I'm probably going to want to conserve all that so that I'm not wasting my power, so I can get more damage at the end of everything. Oh, bad. Something like that. But it also doesn't hurt to try to see if there's like a big boy damage combo you can do that you can use both heat things for. Come on. So that wouldn't work. I might try this to add in there, so my bad. So that don't work. So what else do I got? This might work. This might work. Any of those might work. So oh, my bad. See, that didn't work. So then I would want to try this move. And that did something. It wasn't great, but it got me 10 extra damage. So that's something to start with, at least, And then as I play and progress on my own, then I would improve on that. So, so now I think I've done everything. Now I'm going to go ahead and do some matches. I'm not going to do ranked right now because I'm not confident. I'm basically pretending like I'm a new player here. I don't know where I would get in ranked if I played Lee right now, but I still just want to do ranked matches just to warm up a little bit, just to see where see how I fare against people around, whatever. And then what I would do here is just keep practicing, like my typical my general combos, try to get that muscle memory in there, to decide what combo I'm gonna do. Which I already know what combo I'm gonna do, but.
Get ready for the next battle.
Oh, look at that.
Round one. Fight.
So this is one thing to note too. A lot of people do this. So if you go up against somebody who does something like that, who just throws out rage like that, let him do it. Just let him do it. We have a character with a 15 frame launcher. We can make him pay for that. So, looks like I lost that time, which is fine. Like this is part of learning. This is why I didn't go into ranked. You just practice. We're not trying to win right now. We're trying to get used to the tools that we set up. Now we learned that was a punish and it's safe, so might as well use it. That's how you do it. Now, part of that is because I know how to deal with Hwoarang, but another part of it's because I know this guy likes to mash buttons a little bit, so I'm going to take advantage of that.
Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight.
What's up, Yug?
Final round. Fight.
So stuff like that can happen, unfortunately. But like I said, this is why we practice. This is why we went on quick match, so we can lose, we can learn what we're trying to learn, and go from there. So what did we learn there? So unfortunately, it looks like with specifically against that Hwoarang, I let him get away with too many grabs, unfortunately, because I wasn't engaged enough to be able to actively break them. So that was a big one for me. So that's something that I got to work on. I let him get away with too many grabs and linear moves. I should have tried sidestepping a little bit more. I should have abused more lows to get this guy to try to duck more, so that I can abuse more like up forward 4, blazing kick, which is the kind of swoop back down to back 4. And we're actually going up against Lee right now, so hopefully this Lee is a little bit better than we are, and we can maybe learn a few things. So never shy away from a mirror match, especially one that's stronger. So you learn. I actually learned something different there, which was the you can still use the back two after your heat burst, so that you can continue, which is really really nice. So that might be something that I would practice. So and that'd be something I might practice on my own, so that I could maybe use that in my, as I progress. And this was basically how I would do it. So today's probably not going to be super entertaining because I'm basically going to be practicing the small stuff I learned so I can improve over time. But this is how you do it, and you get that muscle memory. He's just standing there, so I'm going to take advantage of it.
Round two. Fight.
Now this guy's just wasting my time, so now I'm going to go ahead and... Bro gave up, I guess. I don't know why. It's not like I was doing significantly better than him or anything like that, but...
Get ready for the next battle.
So this will be interesting. So they're lower ranked than me by a large margin. You can tell that by the Tekken prowess. but they're also using Xiao Yu, who could be a tricky character to get through overall. So this might be an interesting way to try to open up a little bit. So the one thing I noticed, this person's really not sidestepping unless they are like going into stance. So I'm going to take advantage of that. I can use Lee's running 3-4 to give myself some plus frame. So if they do it, press into anything, I'll win that exchange. Now another thing to try to look for as well, if they block this, like, do they... Like, what do they do? You know, the big thing is like, not just learning your character, but trying to, you know, you got to make sure you pay attention to your opponent's stuff, too. If I'm going to duck and they're going to duck, I'm going to take advantage of that. and that's pretty much how it would go. That's pretty much how it'll go while I learn the character. So the first day will pretty much be like practicing. If there's a move that I feel I either need to add or I need to take away. So like if there's a move that I find that I'm not using as much as I thought I would use, then at most I would try to see if I can find a move to replace it. If I can't find something, then I would just take it out altogether. So like this move is really, really good. So I'm probably gonna keep that. This move is really good, but it's locked behind a stance, so I gotta decide if I want to keep that in my arsenal or not. But a big move is this. I'm not finding a need to use this, so I'm probably not going to use this. A move that I do find myself mixing up with is this, however. This and this are two big ones. Excuse me. So those might be a couple things that I add into my gameplay. So that's just my findings.
Get ready for the next battle.
Captain Hook.
Bist du bereit? Dann leg los.
Round 1. Fight.
So this is what's working for me, unfortunately. I can tell you now that like when I get into the bigger ranks, a lot of the stuff's not going to work. But I'm pretending like I don't know that. So since this is the stuff that's working, this is what I'm going to use. And I'll just have to adjust as I go. So now that they're starting to like try to interrupt my stuff, what I might do is What I might do is try to add the power crush, so that they'll be a little bit more hesitant to try to. All right. It's one of those things too. It's really easy to forget that, especially if you're coming from Tekken 7. It's really easy to forget that you have that heat stuff. See, I didn't even think about that freaking heat stuff. So, but that's pretty much how I would learn a character. It's a slow process. Some characters I'll be able to get into and do well with a lot sooner and a lot easier. Other characters, like Lee, they're going to take time. Not every character is easy to do on the first day. Like I said, a big problem is I don't know anything about him from Tekken 8. So stuff like this is still new to me. I got to start using stuff like this. This is still the same. But and then there's other stuff. So like the idea that I can go into heat and then stuff like this is significantly easier, although it does take away heat, is a big thing, because I could do stuff like this and just to have fun with it. And then, like, I noticed that I keep messing up this combo. So I would either need to keep practicing the combo or change it so that I don't keep messing it up. So something like that might be easier because it gives me a lot more time to kind of gather what I want to do next. You know, so, but I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping by, watching my stuff. Remember, I do have my Discord up, so if you guys want to be part of the channel, help me to learn. Even if you're not here to learn like I am, maybe you have some pointers when it comes to the characters I'm learning, or maybe you want me to try to do something. Those are options as well. You know, and just be part of the community. You know, we're trying to help people get more into Tekken 8 and make the transition a little easier overall. And it just started, so obviously I don't have anything for any other character other than Hwoarang right now. And don't worry, more Hwoarang stuff is coming along the way. Don't worry. However, in the meantime, you know, you got to start somewhere. We're going to start here. And then a year from now, we're going to have a strong handful of characters done and taken care of. 2 years from now, I imagine 2 years from now, all the characters will be taken care of. Of course, there will be time in between where I got to take some time off or I can't stream some days. So it might make things take longer. But for the most part, this is how it would look. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to do great at the beginning of every single character. But who knows, by the end, Lee might end up being one of my best characters. You never know. So that's something that I'm going to be exploring over the next 2 weeks. So stay tuned for all that stuff. And in the meantime, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm really looking forward to learning Lee. He's a character I'm very, very excited about. So I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. So until then, guys, take care, happy gaming, and peace.